Getting ready to go take a bath, and I'm just showing you. This is the bathroom that I'm going to be using. Okay. But this is how it's done here in Toll Town. But before I do that, let me first of all brush my teeth, and then we can I'll show you the shower place here, but I'll show you also how it's done. Okay? So, tell you what, that's what. This, I mean, all you live here, everywhere. So no big deal. I can no longer afford to use the local water that I used to use here when I was growing up, because my system is not that much adaptable right now. But if I were to stay in a town for about maybe a month or so, I'll be doing everything. But now I have to use mineral water just so that I don't get sick. That's about it. Now watch this. This is now Samson. I'm getting ready to do as we used to do here. Watch this. See this? See? Woo. See? Taking bath. Taking bath. Taking bath. To be honest with you, the water is hot. So, and I'm not too sure why it's so cold here in Totem, but I don't want you to see my whole body. So this is about all that I'm going to show you. Okay. And, I wish there's a way that I can go live here this morning. But I'm not going to. I'll show it later. But that's how you do it here in Toll Town. You know, we are always doing it. It's exactly what I'm doing this morning. Okay? And it's a wonderful thing to be able to still be able to meet old folks here and do these kinds of stuff. I love it. I'm complaining. I'm enjoying it. And, and you think you're in America. Please, these people are really enjoying themselves. They don't have to pay water bill. They don't have to pay gas bill. None of that stuff. And the shower area, such a beautiful place. And the way they had it done, water cannot stay here. The water go down back to the creek. When you talk about environmental issues here being resolved quickly. As the water, I'm looking at it now. I'm going to be showing you later. But as it leaves and go down, it's easier. Okay. Now, any of you going to tell me that I'm not clean? I am clean. What's the difference between this and someone who is taking on a shower, hot shower over there. I mean, we're just fooling ourselves. Everybody, come home, come home. If you can, come home. It's going to be enjoyable. You're going to like it. You're going to truly, truly like it. All right? So, as I said, I'm not about ready to show you Raku taking shower. I'm just want to show you a little bit of how it's done. I appreciate you, Bobby, please. But anyway, thanks for joining us. But this is how it's done here in Tool Town. I mean, for me, that is. For me, because there are some people I've seen here that have beautiful houses, and they have, I'm not too sure if they have hot water heater, but I'm not going to ask you, how do you heat your water and how do you do stuff? No. I'm not going to assume you. What I'm just showing you is what I have done and what I will do until I leave. Okay? Good evening, folks. Samson to Labropod Radio. I want to thank all of you again for tuning in tonight. We appreciate you very much, very much. I hope I'm still on air. We appreciate everything that you guys continue to do, joining us and making comment. Please join us tonight. I hope you guys will stay with us so that we all can enjoy this show tonight. There's going to be a lot of conversation here tonight. Again, this is Samson to Labropod Radio. Please share these videos with many brothers and sisters as much as possible. We really, really do appreciate you. Safety. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again tonight. My Lord, as we come before you, our brothers and sisters that are in pain tonight because perhaps somebody passed from them, we ask you to step in, ease their pains. My Lord, we come before you again tonight to say, give us long life. We come before you, my brother, my Lord, to say our brothers and sisters that are not able to be whole tonight, please make them whole. My Lord, we come again tonight to ask you that the Republic of Liberia be blessed, that the people of the Republic of Liberia be blessed, that the President of the Republic of Liberia be blessed. Whatever he touches, his hand must be blessed. Whichever door he knocks, my Lord, open the door for him. Extend his life, give him long life, give him wisdom to do what is good for our people. And we want to thank you for that ability, my Lord. We want to thank you for everything that you do and continue to do for us. Thank you for the opportunity of giving us life. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity of extending our life. Thank you. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you for everything. We want to ask you, my Lord, to bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, let's go on. We come out here day in, day out. We come out here day in, day out. Thank you, Sis Orita. Thank you very much for joining us. My sister, son, thank you. Bessie, thank you very much. Monlu, thank you for joining us, guys. We really, really do appreciate you guys very much. Please share this video to as many brothers and sisters as possible. So I'm going to take a little trend here tonight. I have so many documents here, I don't even know where to start. But I'm going to organize these documents so that I'll be able to approach you guys based on facts. Let me start a little bit with this here. And my brother Amos, he's on point that I'm not sincere. And so he doesn't think, how can you, Amos, you say I'm not sincere, but addressing right before you are not in a corner. You see? Person who not sincere or person who can't address before you like that? No. Because I got nothing to hide. Again, I got nothing to hide. I tell you who I am. That's it. Hey, I got nothing to hide. But no, let me just say this. Liberian politics, it is very, very, very much the same from day one. I'm not going to go as far as to say that it is the same. George, thank you for watching. We appreciate you, my brother. But please debate with us. I was tossed on Tabata here, just throw it right back at me. Put me on my ground. Thank you. Liberian politics, as I stated, has been around for a very long time. A lot of changes have happened, but what has not changed is the idea of self-offensive, the idea of building political party or building institution around an individual. That has not changed. That has not changed. Those days up in the countryside, when they group of somebody said they're against you, they will publicly say so without being afraid of being accused of witchcraft or being accused of sabotage or what have you. Not anymore. Because of the way people behave back home, you can't come out to say, I don't agree, I don't agree with this person without you being accused. And this is what we have in our politics, in our ballot politics. We coalesce around an individual. The individual becomes the standard bearer of a party. On a political party, from my understanding, I could be wrong. I'm not a political science student. I'm an engineer. I just run my mouth. So I could be wrong. You can make the correction. I stand to be corrected. I both people would say. But when we put ourselves around an individual, so the way they do it in Liberia or any other place for that matter, instead of taking that individual as that, they don't do that. They will take the individual, especially in Liberia, and wrap that individual around a political party. So that the ordinary person, most of the time, they are not voting for the individual, they are voting for the party. At least that's what they're made to believe. However, if the standard barrier is not strong enough, the character of a standard, we saw that with President. I'm not trying to put down anybody. President Weah, he's a son of the nation. He made us proud. I'm not here to put anybody down, but I'm just being factual. We saw that with President Weah. There's a Netflix show that is coming up about football business. And when you listen to the opening, you will definitely put the like of President Weah up or upon different category. You would think that President Weah belongs in different category than any other president in Liberia. The way the people explain football players, how they are able to separate themselves from the field where you have thousands of people cheering on and calling your name. Then they will come back home and try to eat individually, try to take bath individually. Then they go practice. Then they come back again. And they tell you what the toll it takes on the many, many young people. If you're not strong and if you don't have a good character, you're not going to make it. This is what President Weah went on for years and years and years, stay on top. President Weah stayed on top in order to remain at that level. We did ourselves some disservice in that country. I will say again tonight. Because of political party issue, we did ourselves some disservice. We stood, and I'm one of those. I stand accused. I admit I will eat crow on that one. Hey, President, we ain't no book. Oh, President, I just started reading recently and started gravitating towards this idea. Oh, President, we ain't no book, man. The man can do. No, we did I was some serious disservice in that country. Jealousy is what we consider to be political party. It ain't no political party. That's so jealous from a pufaka, all of them. So rogues. They put together to call themselves political party. We did. I was, and you can still take and say, well, you can say, oh, something to running campaign for city. I don't care. CDC, you know, CDC people myself, we don't get it wrong. You know that one. Then. And you can say, oh man, you honor cover CDC. So what my blanket said, so I can cover myself. My blanket, my CDC blanket, so I can cover myself. Nonsense. I will be truthful. Someone, I play football, not at a higher level, but it requires some discipline. I had to stop smoking. I had to stop drinking. And those are things that I used to like. I had to stop. I have to stop it. So that I will be in top shape. Competition. This is what this young man went through. Years in, years out. Years in, years out. At the top. The discipline that is within President. And we refuse as Liberian, my people, to harness that is within him. We allow all kind of nyama people to politicize President we are. To politicize our son, the character of President we are, that we should have harnessed. And perhaps we would have been talking differently. We allow people to Samuel to come in and politicize President we are. He's a human being, for Christ's sake. Go and look on Netflix. You will find that movie. It's coming soon. It's probably already on your side. They're talking about English soccer. They're talking about European soccer. What it takes to be at that level as a human being. And now, man, I got tonight, anybody can tell you, I'll kick you out straight. Because tonight, I'm here for no unity, this, that. No. I will be factual. They say in order for you to succeed at that level, your mindset has to be extraordinary. Your mindset, in order for you to be at that level, has to be at a different place. What happened to Sudan? Sudan. Think about it. What happened to what's that name? What's the guy who did a karate kick in the stadium? What happened? Think about it. Those were people that were at the top. The pressure is unbearable, they say. Some kids go crazy. Whatever, Clary, whatever tonight. I CDC time. Yeah, I'm not carrying on a very serious note. I'm going somewhere with this. I'm going somewhere. How the political party clearance, and I'm just telling you because you're my son, so I can tell you these things. I don't have to hide myself from you. I'm not supporting CDC, but I'm going somewhere. How the political party issue in Liberia continue to destroy us. That's what I'm going tonight. That's what I'm going tonight. And I'm also affected because I come out here and talk about that. And even though I don't support Unity Party, but I don't want anybody to say anything to my president. I get vexed. They don't even know me. He doesn't even know why. But anybody talk about, I get vexed. See, this is the same thing. I say something right now, we don't cut or breakable. Come on and start saying, all kind of thing. The political party business in Liberia have politicized the rightful leaders who are supposed to lead us. Clarence, maybe you have not, I don't know whether you play football or not. But in order for you to play football, the little that I know, you practice. And when you practice, every day you practice. Your legs become numb to being heavy. Every day you practice, there will be something you will do on that football field. You won't even know that you did it because it's part of you. I'm not saying that when you're a football player, the greatest football player ever, that then you can be a good leader. That's not my point. Liberians, Those who have the leadership ability. I'll give you an example. I will tell you guys this for free tonight. 1980, there was a coup. My little brother, who was then, I think, 16, 17 years old, part of the coup. He didn't even get to sixth grade. When I left, I came to the state. When I left, this young man, he couldn't even read. At that time, they used to have the pamphlet where they tell spider story, how the spider put a rope around his head. He couldn't even read it. I stayed here 1 year, and I went back home. When I got back home, that Thursday, in his room, he has, before when I left, that Prince Nigo used to be the opening and closing night. But when I went back, the music, the record that he plays, Malcolm X record, the whole album, speeches, Martin Luther King speeches. The young man could narrate these things. And I'm wondering to myself, is that my little brother that I left here who couldn't even read? Who couldn't even read? But what had happened was there were certain people within the PRC group, the educated one. They decided they were going to teach these people. Those who were willing to learn put themselves on, and they started learning. The point here is not about CDC, please. It has not. CDC, they are the worst in politicizing the person who we were supposed to all gravitate towards. Oh, we missed a chance. We missed a big chance. Even if you bring George Weah back right now, you're not going to bring him back to where he was when he was first elected. You remember, I always said this. I said CDC from day one, they always been cheated. President Weah, when he come out, he get angry. They invite him to Nigeria. He come by. He said, my period, you're a leader who will run again next time. Discipline. Discipline. This young man, when he started, the man don't know book. Those of you and those of all who say we know, but what we couldn't teach him. You see the point I'm making here? We've missed a greater opportunity. People will come back to the video and they'll say, wow, Mr. To, you are a genius. I'm a political guru. President Weah. You know, I'm not going to call knee on this one. In the Bay Area, in the California area here, going in my own Jida community, the young people, I always gravitate towards young people. I've always tried to make sure that they do better. That's all that I do. I don't try to impose myself on anybody, but I give an advice. I give suggestions. And I will always say, the person, all of the section leaders that I can be talking, I always say, if they're married, before you make the final decision, Samson can't tell you all the good things where you believe you need to do to move this here and there. But before you make the final decision, talk to your partner. That person will not lie to you. Because if you are disgraced out there, that person will also be disgraced with you. Political party in Liberia, they are nothing but a way to enrich themselves. And they are killing us. I'll go back to President Weah. We say President Weah ain't no book. But what we didn't recognize, those of us that think say we know plenty, those of us that think say we know plenty, let me bring in Mr. Zanko here this evening, my brother. Thank you very much, Mr. Zanko, for joining
us. You got problem pronouncing my name on that? What happened?
Yeah, because on different level. On different level.
Go ahead.
I'm mute tell you to put A on there. So please don't you can't do yourself. But anyway, so President Weah, the level he was on in Europe, any one of us at this point, if you're at that level, the discipline level, You never heard the whole time President we are playing football. He only got in a fight one time. And I did a whole 2 hour show on that fight. And it was me, that man will not even go through the tunnel. That total will be all over him. They will not see him. The man, every time President we are play against Porto, that team, when they play, the man always, because he thinks the President we are too big and fast, so he said, and he boasted about it. I have the video, that the only way to bring him down is to kick him around. President we will say, stop. Let's play the ball. You can see President we are advancing on the video so many times. One last time, the people came from the ball came from the number 7 wing. They passed the ball, and as usual, by the time the ball got to that spot, President the guy was they call him George or something. The guy, short guy, he was already on President where he know how President we left him before he looked. Boom. But the President we had to put his hand on the ground to do that essential kick because the ball was so low. The guy came. The goal finished goal already. He went and stepped on President Weah's finger and almost severs it. They had to take President Weah off the field. Those of you that watched that video and put bandage on his hand. President Weah came back on the field. After the game, they were going through the tunnel. The crewman. Oh, my man?
My man, sorry.
The crewman. You go in the tunnel, you want to talk, nyama? He just gave one headbutt. Poop. The ball came outside. He said, you see my nose move from my face? I got nose again. That's just weird. That was the only time. And what happened? The people investigated. They said, move from here. Man. The man, he played for the President Weah. My point here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, when President Weah came, many of you book people, the man no book. So if the man no book, why we couldn't teach him? He has already passed a stage, discipline. He already have that. Why we couldn't enforce or instill on him, besides discipline, the governing process? We let people that Samuel Twe there. Samuel Twe. I have a situation here where Samuel Twe and what's his name? Dr. Formula were going at it. And Dr. Formula, I have it, I will read it to you guys. Dr. Formula said Samuel Twe holding a boots of a football player, and he think the football boot would take him to higher office. What happened? It came to pass. But by that time, they were like, they come to Papa. The people don't like you. Come to us. The crooks, they put him in a bubble. The blood President we are in. Who else you want the young man to trust? If you can't trust me, I would say he no bull. If you can't trust me, or you want to go trust Dr. Thibodeau, who say I don't want to work with somebody who don't know bull. So he trusted these people. But here's the interesting thing. The political party that was supposed to be the one to guide him were full of all sycophants and praise singers. Nothing more, nothing less. Political party. CDC became a political party for themselves. Have nothing to do with the Republic of Liberia. They were going to get the power, and they knew it. It was their time. They knew it. And the fact that President Weah has already been exercised by many of the so-called boat people, they can't run to him again. There's a video that was going around. Monuba Monu told us that after they made, what's his name, Tubman, to go above President Weah, he said, President Weah cried. He said, you don't think I can handle this? You don't think I can lead? That way you're bringing somebody from outside to pour over me? He said, President Weah cried. Because we refuse to recognize political party in Liberia continue to ruin us. And it's going to continue to ruin until we recognize that the political party in Liberia, most of the time, not even most, all of the time, they are there to serve their own interest. Political party, you bring the person to power and you put yourself around that person with good ideas, with good ideas, people who will do stuff for you will come and tell you, Mr. President, this is it. You can make a judgment. Look what, let's go now to the current government. But before we do that, I have with me Mr. Robert Exanko. And Robert Exanko, most likely he will be embarrassed on this here, but I would say anyway, used to be at a higher level of the Liberty Party. You call him propagandist or whatever you want to call it. No. Mobilization. He used to mobilize people for the party. Let me bring in Mr. Zango. Mr. Zango, can you address a little bit on
What?
the political party issue? You were one of the hierarchy at Liberty Party. What can you tell? The point that I'm making, that political party in Liberia are really destroying this country. Am I wrong? Or
You're wrong.
something? Okay, explain. Give me that.
I
Don't
mean,
defend your position, please. Don't defend
no,
your Liberty
I don't
Party.
have a position. You asked me
No,
a
but no,
fundamental
no, but
question.
don't defend your Liberty Party
I'm not a member of
mobilization.
Liberty Party. Let's establish this. I'm not a member of Liberty Party.
But
And my thing here is, it doesn't. Let me address that question quickly. Then I got a question to ask. The purpose of having political party is that so you will have uh, um, you have oneness of thoughts, of ideas, of aspiration, of dreams, or whatever have you, um, of individuals who have like minds. So, as an institution, is it destroying the country? No. I mean, the political party is an avenue for pushing forth an idea. Now, do the political parties have to develop mechanism in where you can have party hopping, meaning jump from one party to the other? Yeah, but until politics it has matured to a certain level in Liberia, you're gonna have those kind of things. But I don't think they are intentionally deciding that they're going to destroy the country. Liberians don't come to the table with the intent to destroy the country. Remember, politics is about interest. So if a man or woman intention
Mr.
is for,
Zango,
let
no,
me
I'm go-
finish, Mr. To,
I
Mr.
hate to
To, Mr.
interrupt.
To, Mr. To, don't interrupt me, please. We sing together, we don't talk together.
No, no, on here we
Okay?
talk together, we
Okay,
sing together,
so
we do
listen
everything
to
here.
me.
Go ahead.
Save
Go
that,
ahead.
save that for Terry, not me. So yes, a situation. So if political parties is like I said, they don't collectively or individually come up with an idea how to destroy a country, like say with the Civil War, for an example. But politics is interest. So the leader or the leaders of the political party try to find interest, I mean their own interest in how to hopefully
Mr.
it can move the
Zango,
country
Mr.
forward.
Zango, I will hold you right there. I will have to hold you right there. I understand political party politics interest, but I'm suggesting to you tonight that in Liberia, that concept is taken to a next level of interest for themselves, interest to enrich themselves, lack of moral aptitude, lack of respect for each other. That's political party you have in Liberia. And let us don't.
I think you're talking about the individuals who run the
No,
party,
no, no, no,
not
no.
the
I'm
party
talking about party. I'm talking
as an
about party.
institution.
I'm talking about party. No, I'm talking about party. Political party. Political party that I know, what I
Uh-huh.
do know, what I do know. And just give me a minute here. Give me a
All right.
minute
So
here.
why I'm giving you a minute, let me say this. The bottom line here is the creation of political party. What does it do for job creation? What does it do for our economic development? What does it do for the forward march of our nation? That's the most important thing. I mean, you jump
So
political
so
party.
so
How does that
so
economically help you, the
and
individual?
that's exactly my point. Let me
What is
read
your
this to
point?
you. Let me read this to you. And tell me if this is not the same thing that is happening even this government that we all support. Let me read this to you. This was April 19, 1985. 1985. Dr. Samuel Kedo, National Standard Bearer, National Democratic Party of Liberia, Executive
Mhm.
Marshal, Monrovia, Liberia.
Right.
Dear Dr. Doe, in keeping with our desire to win the general election in
Who's the
October
author
19,
of that letter?
Kekura B. Boto.
Okay, so that old man Poto politics you're gonna talk about here tonight.
But what's the difference between that and now? If you know who
You're
he
gonna
is.
use old man Poto politics
No, no,
as
I'm telling
your
you,
let me ask my question. Let me ask my question. You're gonna use old man politics, old man Poto politics from 1985 to describe the current day politics in Liberia.
so let me ask you this: you're an
Are you
educated
serious?
person. So let me ask you this: you're an educated person. Well, during the election, we had another standard bearer, from 1%, and his thing was, if you continue to do things over and over and expecting a different result, you're dreaming.
Who is 1%?
Yeah, you're way beyond time.
Well,
You
I
need
mean,
to
we
go.
got to give
Okay,
difference to
okay,
people now. Who is one? Call the person name.
that's Alexander B. Comey and his ANC, the 1%.
All right. So it's what he said.
He said, if you and I'm just paraphrasing, if you continue to do one thing over and over and expecting a different result, you will be sleeping. 1985,
Mm-hmm.
Kakura Boto,
Mm-hmm.
political party,
Mm-hmm.
telling the president, the standard bearer,
Mm-hmm.
that certain people within the government do not deserve to work in the government because they are not in support of his political party. One thing, they are Liberians now, mind you. The same Kakura Boto wrote to the chief of staff of the national of the ALF,
Mm-hmm.
Liberian
I'm for Liberia.
Armed Forces of Liberia, wrote him that the Armed Forces of Liberia should protect their interest of the political party to win at all costs.
Okay.
And I'm saying to you,
And this was 1985.
1985.
So what was the dynamics in the country in 1985? You
Well,
got to put in context.
1985, we have a Democratic, we have a NDPO who was seeking the political.
1985.
Yeah, 1985. You have political
Was that
party all registered.
okay? Okay.
You have the other teacher have a party. You have Dr. Cassidy party. They were all
Right.
recognized,
Right.
and
And
you have Doe,
the government
and
was
the
led by
government,
who?
Dr. Doe, President Doe, President
Hold on.
Doe, President Doe.
Okay. And
Okay.
President Joe, hold on now. Let's answer a few questions here.
Okay.
And President Joe at the time, what was his background?
He was coming from a PRC, a military background. Now he
All
want to
right.
go into civilian.
And when he ran in 1985, it was his first campaign, right?
Yes.
So we still had a militaristic type of environment, correct?
Not quite. Not
What do you mean
according to
not
what I'm
quite? The
not
making
not
for
you
the
can't
making
you
for
cannot
PLC
you yeah,
background,
but you
you got to put in
cannot. No,
context.
no, you can't bring that kind of drag that kind of context into this.
My man,
Joseph Baka, Joe, hold on. Since you want to be ridiculous, since you want to be ridiculous, let me be ridiculous. Joseph
Mr.
Baka
Toe,
used to be captain in
Mr.
the PRC government.
Mr.
Joseph
Toe, I
Baka used to be captain
understand.
in the PR. So then, are you saying now
Mr.
that because
Toe, I
no, hold on? Are you
understand that
saying
you
now
and
that
the
President
former
Baka
president, the late president, hail from the same background. As a matter of fact, from Grand Cheetahs, I understand your softness, your desire to kind of protect that. I understand that the former president, your late brother Nelson Toe, were involved in the People Redemption Council, so we can appreciate why you may be a little hesitant to go that
no,
way.
no,
But at the
no,
end of the
no.
day, you
That
still
has
cannot
nothing.
complete, still
That's
cannot be, you still
that's
cannot bring late Kekula Poto, who was around from the Tutma years and learned dirty politics from that time and try to inject that into
and
our
that's
current day
exactly
politics in
and
Liberia.
that's exactly my point. The dirty politics from the Tottenham time continues.
But politics
Nothing
also,
happened.
politics not for
No,
children.
look what you're saying now. Dirty politics from Tottenham
Yeah.
time, and so you think that kinds of error is no longer being applied here today. And I'm telling you, that's the same thing we still have. So
Look,
please let me go on.
let me help you here. Let me help you here.
There's nothing here to help.
The
There's
thing
nothing
about
here to help.
politics is similar to law. It's an adversarial system.
I understand
It's
that.
an adversarial
I
system. I
understand
want to
that.
win. You
Yes.
want to win. The
Right.
idea,
Right.
theoretically, is a
Yeah.
kumbaya, but
Okay.
realistically, it isn't. Realistically, I do what I have to do to win. Is it legal all the time? No. But
Okay.
that's the nature of
So
the
so
game.
so let me tell you now. Let me tell
Yeah,
you,
man.
Mr. Zango. Let me tell you this. I agree with you. However,
But if you agree
the
with me, then why you
no,
still
no, no,
talking
no,
about it?
no, 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 no. Mr. Zango, you're not gonna pull that. We're not back in 1970 something. They're not gonna work tonight. And we're all grown now. You know that. We're not even under the same roof anymore. So you know that. But let me just say this. Let me just say this quickly. Okay. Terry, thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight, all three of us were on a different trajectory tonight. We're not no kumbaya, no kumbaya. So let me say this to you, Mr. Sanko. Politics is a big people game. I agree. Politics is about interest. I agree. However, Liberia, from my perspective, the politics and the political party in Liberia, their politics is different because they seek to enrich themselves. That's my argument.
That's not a result of politics.
No, 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 no.
Politics becomes the
But you
tool.
see, but you have to let me learn. You can't do this.
The
I'm
politics
not
and the
on.
parties
But
become the tool for
you have to
self-enrichment.
let
You
me.
can't blame
You
the party
have to
for that.
let me write down your comment. You have to let me learn. We're not on.
But you've been flying too much, your gas
Yeah,
almost
but
finished.
no, no. What a lot of you CDC member, you CDC party member, the way you enter into toilet
Go
there, a
ahead,
lot of
go
you
ahead,
from
go ahead.
CDC. So, but let me say this. Let me say this. Politics, I agree. It's about all about interest. Now, one political party involved, as far as Liberia is concerned, from my perspective, they don't only want to win. They win and they feel entitled, not because of the merits of their position or of their caliber, of their own character, not because they have the degree in those areas that they're seeking position from, but because they ran campaign for the political party. And the political party itself will stay in the way of the president that was elected. There's no more campaign. The president, you ran a campaign, you won. The president was elected to carry out a specific duty. But whenever that duty is in conflict, according to political party rules, if it is in conflict with a political party, they will stand against it. I'll give you an example. President Baka came, we all ran campaign here. He won the campaign, he won the election. We started counting who all was being employed for months. Mo Ali was not getting anything. We all started complaining. Ah, how come Mo Ali they didn't get joy yet? What go on? You don't let him, man. We started complaining because we feel that Mo Ali is entitled. And it's not just Mo Ali. You have the Secretary General of Liberty of Unity Party is employed in this government, refusing to relinquish his position at the sector at the party level. You have the party chairman who also is employed in this government, refusing. These are the people that are strangulating this whole process. And my argument here tonight, until we let the political parties realize that yes, it is your job to run a campaign. But when the campaign is over, you excuse yourself from the governing process. This is what the political party and the governing process merge themselves together as one. So instead of carrying out the agenda of the president, they carry the agenda of the political party. And as you said, correctly stated, Mr. I don't call it this
Forget
Liberty
my knee
Party.
again.
Liberty, I'm going different place.
Oh,
Liberty Party, director of mobilization. Liberty Party, well, you're not Liberty Party
who's
director.
that?
I thought that
Who's
was your
that?
position. I thought you were Liberty Party position. What was your position there in
You
Liberty
the one
Party?
talking though.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. You want to run away from that one? You, you want to excuse? But anyhow, so the point that I'm making here,
Uh,
Robert, is on a very serious note. The political party, they merge themselves along with the agenda for the president, who's supposed to be able to carry out certain activities to help. Now, where am I going with this? And I'll bring in Terry. These people, because they feel entitled, merely because they ran campaign. And we Liberian ourselves make them feel that they are entitled because they ran campaign. They should have a certain kinds of job. And if people who were outstanding in running the campaign, if they don't get job, we complain. And these people feel entitled. And when they get this position, many of the time they are unable to perform. And we have a weak performance from the government. The government, from my perspective, the leader of the government, from my perspective, is unable to actually get rid of people. Because most of the time, the political party becomes like a union. Like a union for those that are being employed. And most of the people that are being employed were presented, their name were presented to the president and his vetting group from the political party. This is what I said, they're killing us. Because many Liberians, qualified Liberians, will not get these kinds of positions, mainly because they were not in support of a specific political party. And that's wrong. Because you are leaving good brains. Good brains. You're leaving them behind because they didn't support you. But you claim, like the president would say, we're going to build this country together. But when the time comes, you're only having people from Unity Party to run, to do these things. And many of them are unable. And because of the entitlement syndrome, they are corrupt. Let's go to you, Terry. Let me hear from you. Robert already warned me here not to treat him. Don't treat me like Terry, he says. So I think I need to be careful with you this time around.
Terry, go on here. Let me on here thing to.
I got juice here. I got juice. Join me, folks.
The two of y'all are credible, so I'm not going to put my money inside.
Okay. All right.
Man, what are
Before you use ratting on me. But yeah, is it? I think the both of you are right. All right, liberal. And this
what kind of Solomon thing you coming do here with me? And that Solomon refused to cut the baby. Solomon.
But liberal.
But who refused to cut the baby? And then that Solomon.
That's Solomon.
That Solomon.
Because Solomon was looking at the truth.
Okay.
And you wanted to figure out
on a very serious note, Terry. I don't mean to interrupt. Please let me say this here, folks. If you're listening to me, like the guy from Canada would say, save the video and play it another time. I had a dream last night. Now, there was no name, but I knew the contest was between JMB and President Weah. And the old man won. The old man won.
Don't make Teto hear that you talking.
No, I'm serious. I say my dream. I say in my dream. And I got to say this here. The old man won. And when we were saying what happened again, we were using the word again. And the reason he won was because people were saying we can't go back to this guy because the same people he had around him before, that the same people he bring in. We told him, we talked, we get tired. I thought I put it. This is just a dream. And before I went to bed last night, I drank a lot of orange juice. So maybe that's why I had that kind of dream. Let's go ahead.
What in the orange juice? What you put in the orange juice?
You know, I don't put anything in nothing. You know that one.
That's the pound one. I thought you didn't get pound one now.
The pound one is too expensive. I can't do it. They know. The people they're not stupid. They know Samson told let it pound and they raise the price right away. I say your pound one self. Go ahead, Terry. Let's hear from you, my brother.
Yeah, so liberal political institutions are not meant for everybody. Do not try to use the political party to employ competent people. You will be making a big mistake because political parties are not for everybody.
That's my argument, my brother.
So political parties are there to create the opportunity for people to be able to have the opportunity to work.
Yes.
Do not depend on political parties to employ you, because political parties will elect the junk of the junk. Once that person is the most popular figure, they will push that person to win an election. All right? because that is on that basis the political party will come to power to be able to control the narrative. So the problem with Liberians, we think that political parties are meant to solve our problems. No, political parties are based around interest and value system for its own self-aggrandizement. It has nothing to do with so when political parties come to power, those who support the party, you expect them to be in position. Unfortunately, in Liberia, when political parties come to power, we want them to go employ the brightest of the brightest. It's not going to work, because if you bring the brightest of the brightest, that man will want to do things his way, and he have to follow the pattern of the political party. You see, like take for example, now you were talking about President Weah. If you ask President Weah now, no, to men I come and get problem me, I come and run away, say, but 8 o'clock wait for my daughter, I will come back, enjoy her. You ask President Weah now, what is your vision for Liberia? He will not be able to tell you. He can't tell you what.
We cannot, and we must not. We must not. Yeah, please. This is.
You ask President Weah now, or ask his supporters here now, what is President Weah's vision for Liberia? The last time I checked, when he was being interviewed, he said that people called me. They said they wanted something. So I gave it to them. He said he's not a politician. You understand? So, but why he won? Because he was the most favorable man in the room.
He still is. He still is.
Yes, President Weah alone. Anywhere he stands, he attracts people.
Still.
So politicians say, you know what, we can use this man to come to power. And
the
that
wrong,
is what they did to him.
Wrong politician.
That's why I say the both of you, the statements you guys are making, the both of you are right. Because politics is dynamic. People look for the best option to sell in order for them to come to power, to guide the narrative, because they have a political ambition.
Stealing, why you want to be nice? Stealing ambition. Don't come here and be a political ambition. No, they're here to steal. That's the ambition they have.
Like JMB. Let's look at JMB for instance. JMB, with all clarity, JMB physical morphology in the real world is not suitable to be the candidate. But JMB gained popularity over time. So there was no other person for United Party to put up. Let's also look at Donald Trump. Let's look at the reason why Democrats failed. Because they put in Hillary Clinton, what her name, or Kamala Harris.
You got me text some stuff here now.
No, I just doing illustration.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to say in a nutshell, Mr. Zango coming. Politicians look for the best option, not the brightest. The best option to sell in order for them to get to power. And when they come to power, they're not looking for the brightest either. They're looking for people that supported them so that they can continue to carry that narrative. So if we, the people, continue to think that our presidents will elect the brightest and look for the good people to employ them, we'll continue to make mistakes. We need to be depending on the political parties that have come to power to create the environment for us to be able to fit into work, to attract private investment and private investors so that they can open the economy to give us the opportunity to work. That's it. But never depend on political parties for you to get suitable job position and employ the brightest people in the society. It's not going to work.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go to Robert. Robert, you are not a stranger to Liberia politics. It would be wrong for me to say you grew up into a political family, but in reality, and I'm not going to go any more than that, in reality, you are. You, from the time you were little, both sides of the family politics, I mean, Liberian, and deep at the higher level, in fact, at the higher level. So you are very, and the fact that the only thing that made a little bit different, you went to Katira, where you should have gone to Tottenham High, but you decided you want to run to Katira. So, so that's the only difference there. But no, on a very serious note, You're saying that political party, we should not confuse political party and that of people who are there to enrich themselves. Can you actually get a job in the government? Well, it doesn't matter this government, whatever government, if you are not stewards of a political party, if you are not a party member, can you get any one of these positions, a ministerial position? And if so, can you give me an example from early time up to this time who that you can point to that perhaps was appointed as minister or what have you, who have never been any part of the political party? Talk to me on the Robert. Good
Well,
evening, Mr. So.
part
Thank you
of
for
part
joining
of
us.
the ruling party, you mean?
Ruling political party, yes.
Okay. Well, firstly, let me clarify because I think you misunderstand what I'm saying. Politics has a significant role in every country. The purpose of politics is not adversarial necessarily; it's about compromise. Okay, fundamentally, that's how it's structured. Electoral politics is adversarial. I'm trying to win a position. You trying to win a position. We put our best tactics forward, strategies forward, and let the best man or best woman win.
Agree.
That's how I proceed.
Hmm.
So we form institutions and call them political parties for this very purpose.
Okay.
People don't form institutions with the intention of what got to go steal because it never works. Now,
Okay.
the individuals, the individuals may have a different mindset. So it would be totally wrong to say the political party is the reason why the government is bad because the political party goes to steal, right?
Okay.
And that's a
Okay.
distinction I'm trying to make.
All right. Give me the example. That give us an
Now,
example
let me
now.
give the example.
Mhm.
Jonathan Fonati,
Somewhat.
Jonathan
Uh,
Fonati Kofa, he was not
mhm.
a part of Unity Party when Eddie asked to be deputy minister of state with a portfolio. I hate to call his name, but the
They don't. They
former,
don't. They
the
don't
last,
call his name.
I'll call the German name. Kwampa worked in the Ministry of State. Thomas Kwampa, he was not part of the Unity Party. So there were different persons who worked and they were not part of the Unity Party.
Okay.
Now you may not have known that,
Okay. Well,
but you know,
thanks for the example, but we appreciate it. However, I will say to you, Robert, why you refuse, knowing fully well, because I know why you refuse to go from two-way party to NDPL to Taylor party to even what's his name, Dr. Sawyer government in Liberia. If you are not member of us or insider, let's put it that way, most likely you're not gonna get position, and especially, and I'll be this ridiculous on it, lucrative position.
but Samson,
Position.
Samson, come on now. That one of the reasons Liberia has always one of the many reasons why Liberia has always been behind. That's one of the reasons why the largest employer in the popular Liberia is the government of popular Liberia. Why you want to look for a government job? Why you don't got skill set to go sell something to form a company to employ people? Why you say now I'm making the argument you can't get no job? That but so many positions that in the government. That's why government get bloated all the time. So why you are set the stage for people to think they gotta go and get government job? You're a civil engineer, for an example. Why you won't go work for Ministry of Public Works where you know they gonna pay you minimum when you can get out there like what's the name? Victor and other people who form the engineering company who are competent and they're doing well.
Yes, but we're going to use Victor for the example. Yes, I can use that, but I'm not going to touch that one. But let me say then I will go to Mr. Because no, honestly, to be honest with you, the government is corrupt. Victor, that you just talked about, I'm going to leave that one. Let me just say this here. If you are not member
Look,
of their clique, you
let
know
me
the
say this.
rule.
Let me say that the reason I use Victor is because we know him in common. But I'm saying my point is that there are people who are very qualified,
Exactly.
who are not necessarily going the government route,
Mhm.
right? They go into the private sector, and the private sector has
The
always been
private
historically.
sector
Let
has
me
not been
finish.
supported. No,
Let
but
me finish. The
you
private sector has always been
Hey, can you
lucrative.
Mr. So,
Lucrative.
well, you're on a borrowed time.
Who?
no, give me
You
chance to
no,
talk?
Mr. So, you're on a borrowed time. I'm running my show.
The private sector has always been lucrative. Always been lucrative. And who wants in the right mind wants to be minister of something where the tomorrow somebody will lie on you and tell you say you stole money when you didn't steal. I can
Okay,
give you an
I
example of that happening in the 1970s.
okay, I
Where
agree with you.
this lady, somebody went and lie on her. Luckily, she kept documentation,
That's the same thing. That's
and
the
when they
same thing
went
that
before the
happened.
minister, she showed her documentation that the person had to lose his job.
That's the same
So,
thing happened to Oliver Duncan, administer
so
education back.
the point I'm making is
We know those things.
there are people who left government and went to private sector and survived.
Okay, all right. I'll come to you. Let me go to Mr. So. Mr. So, thank you for joining us. What's on your plate, sir?
Just 8 a.m.
Okay, let me go back to Robert. Robert, you.
So wait a minute. This is quite interesting. I did hear my Mr. Zango. Good evening. How you doing, Zango?
All right, now how you doing?
Yeah, I'm a happy guy. I should I unveil this here this evening.
Mr. So, I'm running my show. You're not here to do just make your comment. Let's
When
move
you
on.
start doing,
Why would you try to unveil anything? Wait for your own show. Then you,
I'm talking about myself.
yeah, but why you want to unveil anything? Yeah, that's not your show. That's my show. You can't unveil anything. Yet. I know you. I know where you're coming from. So we're not gonna get him chance
So,
here tonight. But let's go ahead and make a
so
comment.
you start being what, a dreamer now, and you
There we
dream this
go.
and that, and all kinds of kakura bottle. Look, man, you bro, try to be serious, man. I mean, you are a big joke on this network, but anyway, good to be here. Good to see you, Mr. Azango. Yeah, I had a point check. I had a point check yesterday, and that's what we supposed to be doing. So I think when he saw you this evening again, some little fear grab, and I like how you. That's what we should do. This guy and this other political reverend that just left, for whatever reason, they just in their own world, and and that is sad. He doesn't understand sitting on these sort of platforms. You are there to tell the people the truth and be honest with them. But he come, I good at speculating. I can do this. And he tried to kind of like do those sort of hidden fingers. But we're here, the liberal, we're here. Then we will have the
Thank
conversation.
you. And let me continue to make my point here, Robert Zanko. Is some of the thing here. Political party. Let's go back to the formation of the CPP, and I'll go a little bit deeper than that. And you can disagree with me if you care. The 1%er, when he was here in Sacramento, I asked him the same question.
Call the man's name, man.
You
Give
see,
some respect to the man.
liberal, look, don't be doing this kind of stuff. You too old for that. That's
Okay.
been very
Okay.
condescending.
But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Am I wrong? They did not get 1%.
But
Is
that's
that
not
how
point.
you
Go ahead,
supposed to?
say it.
That's a name. That's a new name for you now. We should
Okay.
start
All
calling
right.
other people names too.
Okay. All right. I'll take that back. Honorable Cummings.
Then you
Come
just call him
on,
Mr. Cummings. Who don't know who
Mr.
you are.
Cummings.
honorable.
But this is a political time. We speak politics here. So please, in fact, I said 1%. I will stick with that. I'm not
Your
going to change.
politics, something has to show at the end of the day how is it economically feasible for the country.
That's your
The
job. That's
party
what we
does
brought
it,
you
the
here.
party does
That's
that.
your job. We
It's
brought
not like
you here.
complaining.
You came here specifically to connect those dots. So please spare me that cathedral lecture right now. We're not going to touch that. But let me go on to say this. Look, on a very serious note, Honorable Cummings, when the CPP was formed, he came into this game, I believe, trusting Ambassador Bakai, Benada Ure, and the rest. He trusted them. They went and sat down and put all the paper together, how they're going to do primary and what have you. He believed in that. Forgetting to know that Unity Party were never going to accept it. But Unity Party at that time were looking for relevance. The relevances they were looking for at that time is to get themselves on the map once again, because they fell within themselves. That President Sali sold them to President we are. So how else do they want to have to be able to get this here? By bringing in a group of Liberian politicians and hoping that people would notice. And they came up with the CPP something. And Mr. Comey believed in those people. But I knew, and I was warning him. You can go back to my tape. You will see. Don't trust the people. Ronald Reagan said, trust but verify. He didn't do that. Unity Party, once they recognize that they are now in a position for whatever it is that they believe they want to get, they decided to carry out all kinds of stuff that was not necessary.
Like what?
Charging Honorable Comey of changing documents and all those kinds of nyama thing. So please, we know the story. But my point here is this. And Unity Party, hopefully Liberian will see who the whole political party business is all about.
Did the party charge Mr. Cummings with anything? Did they take him to court?
The government did. The government,
the government of Popular Liberia.
But who were honoring that one? Who they called to testify against Comey? Who?
I don't know who.
Oh,
you
okay.
Tell her.
Okay. No, but y'all pretend y'all don't know. I don't mean who will go here to educate.
No, this is not a conspiracy network. Please, you need to
Mr. So, you don't know who they called to testify against Comey?
I don't know.
If you don't know, then let's forget it. But let me move on.
No, not me. Tell your audience. Have you talked about your party? What is your own party?
No, I don't have a party. Let me move on. So,
that's for a party.
Liberty Party. We're the best. Liberty Party USA. That's it. I don't belong to. When you see your man made me talk. Venture them when they left and they wanted Liberia. The Liberty Party now. When we talk to them, they say, "I don't want it." They want they y'all collect the money. We ain't got nothing to do about us here.
You know, I made a point the last time when the other brother was on, and I said this. It hasn't changed. You Liberty Party USA or you John Brown Party USA. With Samson, when last time you went to Liberia to vote?
I mean, you.
When last time you went to Liberia to vote?
Don't forget it. I still remember Liberty Party. But let me make my point. You can't corner me like that and expect.
Nobody cornering you.
Yeah, because because I don't have the voting power doesn't mean I'm not a member of Liberty Party anymore.
Did I say you're not? Nobody saying you're not.
Okay. So
I'm saying you have to find a way to effectuate your membership, and that's by going on the ground and vote. Don't be afraid.
You see that the kind of argument y'all can do when y'all get on the ground. They'll say, "Yo, we want to listen to y'all." But anyway, that's besides that. My point here about political party tonight, folks. First of all, they are not seeking the interest of the Liberian people. Let's make that clear. They are there as an institution.
To do what?
And if you to elect someone from within, they are like a union.
Mm.
Once you are employed and paying the due, Mr. So I'm talking. Let me finish. Let me finish. Political party in Liberia, they are there to elect someone from within. And once they are successful, they becomes the union for each one of the employees. Now, example, you spoke about why why do you have to fight for government job or what have you? First of all, it's the only thing on the ground.
That's not
Second,
true.
no, hold on now. Second, from my perspective, second, when you are successful and asked by the president to come and help, you are there to sacrifice. If you don't want to sacrifice, go to the private sector. But the problem here, private sector is also being undercut by the same government that's supposed to help.
So then where do you go?
When the government gave the private sector a contract, they don't pay them.
No.
The government sits there and the private sector person go to the bank to borrow. The bank want them to bring 25% down payment for the borrowing. And the government cannot help them.
So my question is, why
So how do you expect the private sector to move forward?
This old man is every day he's getting disoriented.
Samson, a lot of our answers are in the history books. People need to learn to read. Remember, I said that a while ago. There was a time in Liberia when we have flourishing business. We have bigger poultry farm. We have Maserati Group of Company. We have Metco. When you go across the bridge, there were a whole bunch of companies. Those people were not depending. Let me finish. Those people were not depending on a contract from the government necessarily. There were some, yes. Depending on the nature of their business. Let me finish. We're talking. So there were those who were self-dependent. Okay, Metco, I remember because I did vacation job with them. They imported blueberry margarine and other products and sold it in the market. But the only thing they needed from the government was permission to import. They work with Ministry of Commerce from that vantage point. They weren't going to the Ministry of Public Works and ask them, please get a contract to build roads. That's a whole different thing. See, I've worked in the private sector in Liberia briefly, and I also have put in bids with the government and that kind of thing. That's a different conversation, different day. So I kind of have a little fundamental understanding of how that works. So to just say you go to Liberia, the person invited you, okay, the person invited you, you got that understanding. What about the other Liberians, the other hundreds or thousands of Liberians from around the world who are returning home? A lot of them go to Dubai and do business. Everybody now don't have the ability to get these big old companies, and they're doing businesses. Liberians are returning home and building their homes. So, you want to tell me the money coming from the government to do that? Come on, man.
So, this is sad. And this guy, he consistently, he doesn't want to change. He gets the audience confused in his conversation and just moving back and forward. And you just think coming here, drinking 5 gallons of orange juice and tomato juice, you think that's not what the audience is interested in. When they come here, they devote their time for us to have a conversation. So you need to stop interrupting people. Look, working for government, that is not a bad thing. Everybody should be proud. In this country that you're in, you're working for the state of California. The state of California is also getting subsidy from the federal. Are you not happy? Of course. So what's wrong with you going to work? I hear tonight, if the government say comes the president, invite the president, they talk to me. So let me just let you know. And the president do appreciate what I do here because he said, so you will be one of the honest person. The old man, one old man on our platform, and the pastor, yes, they like me, but they are not people to get them closer around, to get them closer to me. But here is the thing. I think what the government needs to do is to create these avenues for small Liberian businesses. And I like the decision of the president to fire that MCSS guy. This is ridiculous. We have small Liberian businesses, carpenter, and different people design. You want to tell me nobody can face chair in our country? And you go to China to go get whatever chair? That's the sort of stealing habit they get. And this one here, I give it to the president. And I think, I said that here yesterday. People are taking him, and the same thing they did to George Weah. That's what I want to do. But a lot of this, the old man, they think the old man can sleep, but he's not sleeping. When he's sleeping, he's not sleeping. He's looking at people. Because for him, MCSS teachers.
So
I
you
mean,
say again about the father of the nation. He's not what? He's
hold
not.
on, hold on. I mean,
But
I
no, repeat
always,
yourself.
what?
Repeat yourself. You said the father of the nation
I
is
don't
not
have to
what?
repeat myself. I've spoken what I said already. What I'm saying, his decision to remove the superintendent, it is ridiculous. It is absurd on the part of the superintendent. The Morovia Consolidated School System is the government of Liberia subsidized. The government of Liberia is doing everything for that superintendent to design, ignore all of the small businesses that are in the whatever industry without going to them to get chairs for the school system so that we showcase our own creation. He decided to go to China. Those are the kind of stealing things that are being doing. The president fired him. And I hope it just, in fact, they are asking to turn everything over and he must be investigated. People need to go to jail in that country and auction their property. You don't steal from government here. But people, they're taking it and they take people for granted. And some of them feel the same thing that, like I was saying, the same thing that did a George, here. Some of them feel they get Joseph Boyka to be the president, so they think they can do anything and get away with it. And he's not going to allow that.
Entitlement. They think they are entitled.
Look,
No,
I mean,
no,
something.
go on, bro.
Let me jump in here for a little bit. One of the things, for an example, is that we got Liberians in the diaspora who do their own thing in their own weak way to try to promote the nation, promote our country. Let me give you an example. We have an Olympic team. A lot of people that carry Liberia flag on the Olympic team don't necessarily reside in Liberia. There's a young lady I know right now. Her name is Decante Ayers. She's trying to make the Olympic team. She's a track star. She ran track for many years. Now, to say the government must go ahead or this lady is supposed to somehow run to the government and get help from the government to do that is a fallacy. I think there are too many Liberians out here who are very qualified in their own areas, in their own fields, and some have gone home, opened hospitals, opened clinics, and they're doing well for themselves. But to constantly just want to beat the government or beat a political party, I think we should try to go beyond that. We need to look, and the fundamental thing I keep saying, we need to ask ourselves, all of this argument, all of this diaspora debate, how does it economically benefit the country? How does political party A, whether they voted themselves there, whether they didn't vote themselves there, whether they corrupt, how does it affect the economy of the country? Now, let me give you one fact. You kind of correct on one fact, Samson. George Weah by himself could not be president of the Republic of Liberia. CDC as a political party cannot be president. I mean, cannot win the presidency. How many times did they run? I think they ran what, 3 times? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. And of the 3 times they ran, how many times did they win?
You always get cheated
4
anyway.
times.
Well, what if somebody wants to cheat and get cheated? So the time they ran, the second time they run, they cheated themselves for them to lose. Come on, man. At the end of the day,
4 times.
at the end of the 4 times, right? Thank you, Terry. So for 3 of those 4 times, they lost. At
But they
the
were
end of
cheated.
the day, they have to collaborate. They have to come together. Okay? So all those parties like MPP or whoever else join them, if those parties go away from CDC can win. It's same to a united party. United party by itself cannot go more than 50%. People got to collaborate. So this idea that a political party will go ahead and by itself kind of figure out a way to go and steal from the public library, please. It is
So
individuals with their
so
individual interests who are doing things wrong, and so it's correct that at some point they need to be called out. If they need to be prosecuted, let them be prosecuted for the wrong deeds.
thank you. The point here, you asked a good question. How does it benefit? I'll be coming to Terry. How does it benefit us economically? It hurts us because the people that's supposed to help us are corrupt. They are not utilizing the fund properly to benefit everybody. As you correctly stated, young Liberians are going home building. They are going home trying to do businesses. But when they get home to do businesses, many of the time they will complain that they are in Liberia as though they are foreigners, and they are considered foreigners in their own country. They put the Liberian government, and many of the people that are serving in the Liberian government will put foreigner ahead of Liberians' businesses. And you know that. Quite recently, we heard the liver ministry with all that 2x4 work permit. Work permit. You go to Accidental, you have people that brought in jobs that Liberian can do. Those are all private sector. You have the guy that over there that producing steel. The Liberian people call it steel rod. That producing steel rod, cheap, but substandard steel. And you have people who supposed to inspect these things. When I was in a manga 2 years or so ago on Liberian Engineering Society conference, the Minister of Public Work at the time were asking Liberian Engineering Society to help them to police the sale of cheap and substandard steel rod. And these steel rods are being used in buildings, and these buildings are collapsing. These steel rods are being used to put in water tower, and the water tower are falling down. This is where these people come in, that their behavior is so bad that it's hurting the economy. The same economy that you're talking about, Robert.
All right, Samson, let me ask you a question. Since you've been specific about steel rod, when will that structure put up?
What structure?
What did they tell me about the water tower falling? When? What? Give me
I'll give you an example. There was a church building that, and that one, it was public. Sometime I think a year or so ago, and it collapsed.
It was built a year ago.
No, it collapsed about a year or so ago when it was still under construction. By the way.
Okay, all right. So you had incompetent people.
No, incompetent, not the word. Inept.
Okay, you had inept people,
right? And
you will find there are a lot in the country.
No, but that's not the point. That's not the point.
What's your point?
Those who are supplying the material, knowing fully what the material is substandard. So what they do? Those who supposed to be regulating, those who supposed to be their eyes for the Liberian people, are taking shortcut because they have something in it for them.
All right.
And they turn the blind eye.
My question to you now is, are you saying that every one of those inspectors know their work to the T? They know exactly what's supposed to do?
That's exactly my point. If a political party would not act as though they're union, if the political party will allow the president to pick people based on the merit.
So are you suggesting then? Are you suggesting then there's a political party policy to go to the president of the Republic of Liberia and say you cannot do this unless
you can't tie that around a political party policy. That's you're not talking to somebody drinking water through their nose, you know. I think I can read a little bit too. You think political party will say we're making a policy?
But then why you saying the political party is making it difficult?
We see what they do. We see. Go ahead, Mr. So. I'm not a witness. In fact, you, Mr. So, and Mr. Zango, let me. I hate to bust your bubble, but I'm not on the witness stand. I'm not answering any more questions from you guys. Terry, let's hear from you.
Because you don't have answer for us.
Terry, let's hear from you, Terry.
Yeah, like I said earlier on, Gabriel, I think you are right, and I think Mr. Zango is somehow right too. We got to look at it from both ways, because politics is dynamic. Politics is not scientific, you know. But where you got strength is that, like Mr. Zango said, do you really think that CDC came to power to steal? First of all, CDC never knew nothing. CDC never knew nothing about governance. They never governed. Former President Weah had never been in government before. He never had skills of anything good. That's why I said earlier on, what was their vision? CDC, before they came to power, what was their vision? So when they came to power, because the standard bearer must have a vision that will drive the narrative. If you have a standard bearer who just like a J, what don't know what to do, they will eat him. So because he's popular and you bring him to power on the basis of his popularity, they will eat him. That is something they're trying to do to the old man. But he don't put a hat on and all he don't know what's going on. Then later on he show it here. But he said he eating him too. So the thing here is that in my own opinion, you have to CDC came to power and they met a convoluted system that they saw all the loopholes, but they were not willing to close it and expose it because the fear was if we expose the loophole and everybody will know our eating, then ourselves will be left out of the show. So let we leave all the loophole there and be sucking from A2 and be getting our own. That is where
elephant meat.
Yeah, that is where labor comes in. That if you have a political party and you don't have a vision for the country, your motive, once you get into power, you will steal, even if you don't want to. Because you did not come with passion, with patriotism to transform the life of the people. So as a result, you came there now and you saw all the loopholes where you're supposed to expose and close. But you left it too because you know that if you open it, if you expose it to the Liberian people, the people will see you're eating. So you start eating from those loopholes then, and you fail to expose it. That is why today Akara's Graden can sit down on Spoon Talk and tell you how United Party is stealing. Because they saw the loopholes, they know all the loopholes. But they refuse to expose it and they refuse to close it. United Party, let's take for example the LTA. If Senator Waterspoon were not going to expose, or Martin Colley were not going to expose the amount of money that each of those guys making, how would we have known? The CBL, one man, his rent alone, 60,000. If the legislature had not called these people, call them to evaluate what's going on, how will we, the public, how will we have known how much money these guys are generating? So think about all the other places that they're eating from that we don't know about.
Political party.
But they will not expose these places, and they will not expose it because when you expose it, you got to close it. And when it close, the eating spot close. That is why certain orders you will never hear about it again. They will order, they say, oh, the other place will order it, but it will not go for persecution. Nothing will happen because if you do that, you expose it, and when you expose it, the eating place close. So in my opinion, bro, you got a point, and Mr. Asango too got a point. But the thing here is that
Mr. Asango ain't got no point.
When you are a patriotic citizen from a nationalistic perspective, when you come to government, even through a political party, your first priority is your country.
Thank you.
That is
Mr. So the question coming down. Now you here to ask question. I'm the board chair. I'm in charge. Let them call me dictator, whatever they want to call me, fine. I'm here to ask you a question. Thank you, Rescue 2. You did a wonderful job as usual. I mean, your point is well in place. I mean, the people love you on the show. They never criticize you because you're always making the.
Oh, man, don't forget to get a man that money you promising.
Is that Zango? Please.
Because you're praising him too much tonight.
I'm not even going to touch that one. Let me come to you, Mr. So. We were here last night, and you thought the liberal was somehow going to concede to your conservative view. And as usual, I stood my ground, and I'm one of the loved person on this platform, you know that. But let me ask you this. Terry just told us, people come in and they find these loopholes, but they refuse to close them. And because they too want to eat. Mr. Soul, the question to you on a very serious note, when will we Liberians be patriotic enough to say this loophole needs to be closed so that schoolhouses will be built, so that chair will be provided, so that those medicine that's supposed to go to JFK can go to JFK. And if I cannot close this loophole for whatever reason, I need to resign. Are we there yet, Mr. Soul?
The question, the answer is right to your own feet. It should start with us. Things we say, things we talk about, how we want national government to run, how we want our society, the directions of our country, our ability to be honest to our leaders, to communicate with them effectively, create a conversation, and stop protecting your own because it's not in your favor. The political party is just an institution. Who make up the political party? It is the individual, right? It is the people that come into the party. They will lead the directions of the party. We shouldn't blame party. The country of Liberia is not the problem. The inhabitants of Liberia are the problem. And I agree when you say parties should have a vision. For example, in Singapore, since 1959, there's been one ruling party. Does that mean everything that's going there? But the party has a vision. So it doesn't matter where Alfonso Soul is today. When a liberal comes, he's not going to do it the total way because there's a standard set by this party. There's a vision. They have they lay out the directions of the country. Okay, so it's a sort of tricky one, but again, it's left with these individuals who are in charge, and we will say ultimately the boss stop is with the head. The leader, just how you conduct, just how you lead, just how you pave the way, that's how your people want to follow. If you are head of a group, if you are head of an institution, and you are disorganized, and your way of handling things, lack of administrative skills, don't have that sort of concerted effort to get things. I don't know why. I don't know why you making yourself uncomfortable, and that's the problem we have because we do not like to be told the truth. We do not like to hear what is right. But I'm just saying it, and not just only in government. Look at the Liberian community. All of these organizations in our own community and now is a complete chaos because people fighting, struggle for power struggle. If I can't get it, this shouldn't do this. But if we are honest with ourselves, I don't know how long we will be talking this thing here. So it's not guaranteed. We people that are called in government to serve, you should be proud to serve your country. But the tendency that the mindset, oh, I'm here next year, I'm gonna be here. So they go, they get it at once because they know they could be fired. Things that they have not gotten for in their aging time, they want to get it over there, want to get it, nothing going to happen. So people must be held liable. People must go to jail. If they are found guilty, they must be sent to court, and they are guilty. They should pay the price.
Thank you. CEO. Mr. Joy, CEO did not nail me last night. I was completely covered, and I resisted all of that. So please don't mislead the audience tonight.
Look at him. Look at him.
I'm the board chair of this platform.
I would never, even when you want time to jog into a town, say I would campaign against you because when you get it, it would be a trouble.
I've always wanted to be a district commissioner anyway, so I'm going to get that job.
I want land to Burkina be. Want to be commissioner to say I want land? Seriously? Please, you can't even get it.
Again, folks, the number is there. Samson told Labropa Ma Esther, good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. The number is there, 916-533-2048. I'm here tonight with Mr. Robert Ezanko, Terrace Collins, and the CEO, Mr. Alfonso Zion. So we're having a conversation. So if you care to give us a call, Amos, if you're listening, call me and let me know again tonight as to whether I'm still dishonest, as you pointed out last night. Give us a call.
Samson, I got a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want you to answer this as honestly as possible. Let's say you're the president of Popular Liberia. I have a friend. I have a friend in the United States of America. Her name happened to be Elizabeth Rogers, and she says she wants to return home, and she got all this qualification. She wants to do her part, contribute her quota to Liberia. How would you advise her to proceed? Will you advise her to go work for government or go in the private sector?
If I'm the president of the Republic of Liberia.
Well, forget being president. If she were to come to you now, her name is Elizabeth Rogers. She wants to go to Liberia. What will you advise her to do?
To be honest with you, at this particular moment, if she's a young Liberian, and not even young Liberian, but somebody who wants to take the hard-earned money to go to Liberia, I will advise against that right now.
Why?
Because I truly believe our brothers and sisters are yet to be serious. I'll give you an example. The young man or the lady you're talking about, when she's going to Liberia to do business or even to build or whatever it is, going to cost money. She's going to want to buy material. The dishonesty in Liberia, it's not just on the government level. It's also at every level, family or what have you. The young lady will want to buy a car to ship to Liberia. And by the time she buys the car to go get the car from the free port, she will pay more money. She will have paid more money than she bought the car for. If she wants to establish business in Liberia, the kickback that those people will be asking for just because before they sign certain document. And because of that kinds of dishonesty, I, Samson Toe, will not sit here and advise any young person who have worked so hard on their money to say go and establish business in Liberia.
Wow.
You can do so on the ground that whoever you're going to be in business partnering with must also be willing to put in 50% from the ground. I will not tell you to take your 401k and take it to Liberia. 2 days later, you put your hand over your head and start crying because your brother and sister then will snap it out of you. No, I'm not gonna advise them to do anything in that country.
So the question that becomes an issue of patriotism. That becomes an issue of patriotism. Let me make this point.
Okay.
Because the person has lived in the U.S. for many years. The person wants to go home like a lot of people want to do. So you tell the person not to.
Walter Carter, hold on. Let Mr. Zango finish. Then you can go ahead. Go ahead.
Liberia has always had a problem of not being up to standard for people to return. I remember back in the 50s or in the 60s when people wanted to go home. Liberia they have regular electricity. We didn't have all of these issues. But those people who decided to go home and they invest themselves, whether it's business or whether in government, they did it and they were the effect change in the country. So to say somebody shouldn't go there now until the situation is perfect for them.
No. But Mr. Hold on 1 minute, Walter Carter. Mr. Zanko, you see, this is what the so-called conservatives and things like that. That's what you guys do. You are. Yeah, okay, whatever you are.
I'm realistic.
Okay, realistic. Okay, whatever. Realistic. C and L, the same thing. No different. But let me just say this here to you. When you make this statement, trying to compare Liberia then to now, then you are not sincere. By then, you can stay right here in the United States and have people build your house in Liberia. And they will do it with honesty. You back then, you can stay here and call your brother in Liberia to say, I want to do business. Let's get into a business. And they will be willing to do that. The lady that owned Oreo, I believe she's sister to Delia Zava owner. And the family put the lady that used to own Oreo store on Camp Johnson Road.
That's the Weeks brothers that own it, though.
Oh, no, a long time ago, they was I'm not sure the Weeks brother, but
yeah, I think that's talking about the uniform store, right?
Uniform, yeah, but that's the
Weeks brother. One lady or the Weeks brothers?
No, Kenny Bass sister that passed away recently. Okay, but the point that I'm making here, forget about the name of the point that I'm making here. When that store was ready, family was involved in making sure that that store was successful. You can't do that nowadays. Right now, we have issues in Grand County where people are selling other family member land because they believe the family member in America. That don't kind of people, I'm going to send somebody there to take their 401k money because I want Liberia to be developed. No, then I'm not being serious. You go there, yes, that's your country. I'm not stopping you to go, but I'm not going to make that kind of recommendation. Let me take over here.
I mean, to be such a generous statement too, then that's
Yeah,
a problem.
well, you always have problem with me, so no big deal. Walter Carter, let's hear from you. I'm not too sure I'm only going to listen to your view tonight, but let's hear it.
Oh goodness.
Yes, I would like to say hi to everybody. I know you guys, politicians, are so condescending when it comes to
Yeah, we come.
people who are
Yeah, they come.
independent and have a different view. I was listening to, anyway, good show, but I was listening to you and Mr. Azango, the liberal, the CEO, like trying something about politicians. I'm talking about our Irish politician. I'm talking about people that judge me. I came from different, school of thought. Our Irish politician are so dishonest in my view. And Mr. Tony is very right. Very deceptive. I caught something on this show tonight. Mr. Azango was making mockery of the former president.
There we go.
He
I knew
said,
I
He
knew
said,
it.
right?
I knew
When
it
you
coming.
when you call Mr. Kumi 1%, you saw how he was like came vehemently at you. Why can't you call his name? Why can't you call his name? But you will denigrate the former president because the former president is not in the school that Mr. Azango went to. Went to that political mindset that coming from LU, that Moja, that all that stuff. We are not from there. That's the reason why in our society today, the politicians that fought for multi-party democracy, they were not successful to be part of governance, or to even, most of them, to even show face in real governance. So people are came from different walks of life, took over the legs of George Weah, taking over. Ruth Perry then coming as interim president. Dr. What's her name? And Walter Sangawulo, they don't came to the place. They don't want in politics because of the kind of deceptive way the politicians carry themselves in our country. And it's not by, it's by design, because our founding father did the same thing, and they follow suit, even though the king would advocate to remove that system of governance in the country. But the same thing they learned from the king, and the same thing they apply to their own people that they came to liberate.
Thank you.
And it's a vicious cycle. Until that cycle is broken, our country will still be in reverse mode, and we'll be pushing for forward march. Our country is still going backward because of the mindset of the politicians today.
Thank you, but don't give up. Continue to preach forward march, but we will not give you the power next 2029. I just want you to know that. Thank you.
Another thing, Mr. Paul, your dream you have.
Here we go.
I think your dream is a fantasy. And sometimes they say dream is dream until it is acted upon, right? Mm-hmm. So that dream is the other dream. Maybe you drink your coffee with, your orange juice or some polythene power in it, and so.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Good night. Again, that's the voice of Walter Carter. So,
Samson.
Hold on, Mr. Zango. Let me just take all the costs. Just write it down.
All right.
Mr. David, good evening. Thank you for joining us. What's on your mind, sir?
Hey, Mr.
Are you there, Mr. Davis?
I'm here. You getting me now?
Yes, much better. Go ahead.
Thank you for the show tonight. You said a good thing tonight, but there are areas that I don't agree with you. I want to point it out. From the beginning of the show, you said that the former president, Mr. Weah, was the best in the country. We found a lot of leadership. And the Liberian people, even though they brought on board to work with him, and then they deceived him. As a leader, you sharing, you the board chair for the FDR. And the CEO is on the show. The leader,
I can't hear you, my brother.
In a bad area.
The leader should say as an example. You getting me now?
Yes.
Okay. So he was the president of the country for that 6 years, and he had the men and women from the CDC that joined him. But in the first place, Georgia was a complete political barrier to the country.
Political what? Barrier?
Area.
Yeah, he was a complete barrier to
Okay.
political barrier to the country because he stood before a lot of good people in getting that you led our country. And the politician got to know that if they got him become a president getting it, he may not let them get any chance. So the Liberian people decided, say, most of our educated people and most of the people that politically in class say, don't try that guy, they didn't show a true color. When they took over the country, you saw what he started doing for it. He demolished the house on our street. So at the time you were playing football, you were doing all this thing. Why he couldn't modify the house? He built out apartment around that Baptist seminary over there. And the men are working with him, they see their leader doing this thing. And they bought the other they struggle from the part that came from the small community. They don't have home. Do you think they will sit there and see their president? They get it big all the multi home, they get said you will not do the same. So as a leader, you should always set a good example because the good example that you will show is what your member will follow. But the men never did
So
that.
hold on. Let me merge this other color, please. Hold on. All right, Clarence, go ahead. So the other color can take it over, please. Go ahead.
So the point of Mr. Zambo was raising tonight, the CEO was raising, you find yourself in the house tonight because your own show you brought, the topic you brought up, you are not going by the way you started presentation. You're making it to be like he's a more more qualified Liberian that God sent in our country to ever lead our country. No. Don't try other people. We are trying Unipati and we'll never Unipati. This is our second time. CDC, we try them. That we may have good Liberians there tomorrow. We may like they come to power to improve. If the country they're okay, it will be okay for all, or it's not for party. Like we become that country become a better for every Nigerian today. They will not say Unipati, they will not say CDC. If we get into the need of Nigeria to go all whatever, everybody want to go Ghana. But this mentality that one person is the only person in our country can make our country to be okay, I think it's wrong.
Thank you.
Don't see how the person get there, try other people and get there, whosoever can make the country okay for us, that will be okay for. And the last point, please, Mr. Toe. You talk about like great people, businesses, you will not trust somebody. Look at most of our hotels in Nigeria today. They brought foreign national because many of our brothers and sisters, the moment people in certain area, they'll go steal the people money. Watching the people bringing their own Fulani people, the Lawani people bringing their own Lawani people, and the Indian people bringing their own Indian people. So it's sincere to ever say we have some good Nigerians, but the few getting that be on the front page, they are the one that be destroying the country. Also, thank you for the show.
Thank you. Let me take the last caller. Caller, okay. Okay, caller 717, please. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Mr. Samson Ranto, my name is Amos. You said I should call early. I tried to call last night. You said I should call early. I'm calling in early today, but they said I think they tried to shorten the show.
Amos, you're out of time. You're out of time.
Yeah, I'm not out of time.
Okay.
You don't want the same. That's the reason why.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Let's hear from you.
Sometimes, Ranto, I always blame you. You're a nice guy, but you are following the wrong path. Why is it that when you support something or somebody and then the person is doing wrong, you cannot acknowledge it? Say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I support this person, but they're doing wrong. That's what you are a smart guy. Trust me, I listen to you every time. Now, the only problem here is that you try to. Okay, let me name. This is another issue. You are trying to monopolize the show. You're trying to subjugate Mr. Soul, and you are trying to become a dictator just like Joseph Walker. Because Joseph Walker, whatever he says, so that's what you're trying to do. That's what I gotta say to you, Mr. Tool. Samson Brown Tool from Toast Town in Grand Judah.
You gotta like, you know, I like you so much, but man, you got issues.
Yeah, but my
Please
thing,
allow me, sir.
my thing about you, Amos, you say you're from Lofa, but you sound like somebody speaking from Cruiserville. That's my problem. Yeah.
No, seriously, I was well, you know, because I've stayed here for so many years. Right, I was born and raised up in Lofa. You know, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Typical Kissy guy.
Yeah.
I don't speak all the Kissy, but I understand almost all the Kissy.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
I'm a typical. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, really, yeah. But something back on a serious note. You have to be objective. That's what an educated person does. Forget about political leanings. If somebody you have a leaning, and then the person is doing the wrong thing. Just say it.
All right. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So much,
Thank you, Amos. Please don't be a stranger. Continue to call whenever you have the opportunity. That will be the last caller for the night because my guys have to make their closing here, so we'll get out of here. Um, I want to thank all of you that supported the show tonight, call in, writing, and things like that. We say thank you very much. You continue to do well. You don't have to agree with us, and we'll publicly disagree with you too. Because you sit on behind computer and you write something there, I want to read it. I agree with you. I'll call you and say I agree with you. The same way I want you to disagree with me as well. So thank you very much. Mr. So, start you out with 2 seconds, and then comment for 2 seconds.
What? Two what?
Your time over. Terry, let's hear from you, my brother. You got 5 minutes. Mr. So will come to you. You will take us home. You got 5 minutes, Terry.
Well, we're closing now.
Terry, of course.
Oh yeah, okay.
I got you know the time.
I forgot that you can.
I beg you, no. Don't start
Yeah,
that.
well, anyway, Labor is a good show. Thank you for the show tonight and all of that. Political leaders, one of the problems we have in our country, I think, and we need to rectify it, is that we in fact, it works in every system. Political parties look for politicians that are marketable with political capital. Like, take for example, now we go into election 2029. JMB is already old. We will have new incoming voters. We will have voters that never were not at the age of voting 2023. They will be at the age of voting 2029. All right. What is the dividend that JMB going to collect? JMB will be old. Will he still be running? If he's not, the way I see Vice President moving, it seems that all eyes is in his direction. He's trying to go for it. So if he's going for it, are we Liberians prepared to take this guy because he have the voting population? Are we also prepared to carry Thomas Fala? Because Thomas Fala is with Unity Party and he's supporting, he got a huge base politically from the Lofa Belt. So then when we elect these people into power, then we have high expectation for their production. And we know that they were not capable from the get-go. These are the reasons why our political system continues to fail. And we'll come back on the talk show to be lashing at the government again. Then we are no different from what Mr. Cummings said, insanity. Because we need to put our political leaders on the pedestal before we elect them, not on the basis of party affiliation, but on the basis of patriotism and nationalism. Thank you for the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
But Donald Sano got to be very careful because he running him more too much. He putting him more on the woman here, booing. The woman is just giving her view.
I don't know who Donald Sano is anyway.
Oh, Deputy Minister of Information.
Oh, the guy who all used to be on the show.
No, no. Yeah. He used to be on the show there too.
Daniel Sano used to be Deputy Secretary General for the Liberty Party.
Yeah, but he also used to be on the show with Fagon. Then they all used to be with Fagon, right?
Yeah, they play the kick you out. Yeah. Your man know he knows it. He knows that I man.
Go ahead, Victor. Give us your closing, Chief.
Look, I was thought about say I don't know the name of the caller who called in and said something.
He's one of the panelists here.
Okay, all right.
Walter
At
Carter.
at the end of the day, when you have a president who decides you want to be Buga dancer, you want to market himself like that, we'll respond to that. I mean, at the end of the day, you got a person who when he charge and he call and he on and then he doing the day he leaning. We'll talk about it. Yeah, public figure. You know, when he catch a head, then go to then he do the day. We'll talk about it. People talk about Joe Boyka all the time and say he was sleeping. Same thing. You know, when he
So
gets
why
on,
were you? Let me hold you
hold
right
on,
there,
now,
please. Hold on.
let me talk.
Why were you
Oh,
not consider that behavior to be talented?
that he tired he Buga dancer. When he decides that he can speak and
So
you
man,
say,
they clapping for you.
we'll talk about it. I mean, you're a public figure, man. You know, don't get the man cover. But look, in all well, that's serious. But at the end of the day, this show was okay tonight. You know, I think for me, I always want us to talk about things that would be positive about Liberia. Everything we discuss here, how does it economically impact us? You know, what benefit it does it bring to the country? How does it help create jobs in the country? I mean, politics is always going to be there. People are all going to talk about it, this and that. Election is what 5 years from now, 4.5 years from now, whatever the case may be. There will be movements, you know, in the political landscape. Nobody know what a Tama Father will come up. People speculating that now. Tama Father may sit back and say, you know what, they think won't work for me, so I shouldn't run. Maybe Tama Father will decide he won't be speaker instead of being, you know, the conversation right now is that he won't be vice president and Kuhn won't be president. So that's what they're setting up. So we'll see. We'll see. But you know, that's why I have to say tonight, gentlemen. And I look forward to, you know, being on the show with you guys again later on.
Thank you. We'll be back here Wednesday, of course. Mr. So hopefully we'll be here tomorrow and we'll join him as well. Mr. So let's hear from you. Take us home.
And I will be in charge. Black Dragon revenge the death of Bruce Lee. I will be in charge. Just like when
I'm still the board chair. When I come, the board chair
yes, so
coming.
I wouldn't be surprised. Hopefully, there might be another potential candidate that will be coming from Lofa County. That is obvious. Where that person was from in the CDC, either I don't know what I would say, a remnant of CDC. But you know, we need to have these conversations regularly and with seriousness and discuss this issue, not just because it's not for entertainment. Too much. Let MC Caro and what his name, what the other guy name. I love his music. Live your life or whatever. When you die, you alone will go. They didn't do the entertainment aspect. We must have this. We're talking about 2029. It's just right around the corner. So the kind of conversation that we're going to be having, the kind of Liberia we want in 2029. That's now. It is time to begin this conversation and see who these people are. And nothing wrong with them. If they are showing any indicators of sign of being a potential candidate, this is the time to start the conversation. You don't want to wait until, you know, we're not used to managing crisis, so why should we even create crisis in the first place? The issue has not been political parties. Political parties are just institutions. How many parties have we not had and we would not come? Even, don't be surprised, more will come in before 2029. Why these parties are not, why are they not existing? Who is asking that question? Why these parties are not having a long-term planning strategy that one of these days, even though I understand a barrier, there will come a time I will fade away and this party must survive. Who did the NDPL that we knew yesterday in North Shore when Samuel Doe was there? What was the preparations of Helen Johnson Sirleaf, the Unity Party? Tuanre, LAP, all of those people, LPP, the late concomitant Sawyer, all of those people. What do we see happening now with CDC? Who is CDC now projecting to be the alternative to George Weah? Nothing. ANC, nothing. Well, there are combinations of few things. Poverty, People don't have money, so those who have the capital, they take the party. The party is their sleeping suit. But until the authors of these parties, they come to realize that we want this institution to survive, to stand for the long years, they will begin to nurture people, prepare them, and have the alternative. Suppose any other people that die today, that when you start going all around to scramble to look for people, they don't do it. We see here every convention here, they have these convention, they spot potential people, they serve as speakers. That's how they start growing people, they start coming. But by the time you go low, convention, no convention, by the time you go low, somebody trying to stand up barrier. No debate, no conversation, no national conversation. No. These are all ills to part of the kind of failed society that we have. Because we can't put ourselves in structure. What is the guarantee that when you put a man in their mansion there or capital building, you're going to do it? He knows how he got there anyway. So it is what it is. And George, I'm not seeing anything that is a sign that he has learned a lesson from the past and he's willing to improve in the future. I'm not seeing anything of that. His talking, his way of approaching things, I mean, everything just about him, he just refused to learn for whatever reason. Part of that is the very people that they are surrounding them, they are unwilling to tell them the truth. Just how my own brother sometime here, he's a good guy that I like him so much, even though he's threatening people with his position. These are some of the problems. You know, I will do this, I will do this. He doesn't have the teeth to do it because he knows the record that I get on him too. So when he do it, I will put it out. But look, guys, that's the problem.
Those are liquor talk.
You got the evidence?
That liquor talk evidence.
You got the evidence to prosecute?
They got a liquor talk. Mr. So, close. Okay, thank you, Mr. So. I think you're saying enough for the night.
So
You want me to play it?
Samson,
Mr. So, please. Go ahead.
Samson, if you don't mind, let me just say something quickly. Look, I think we have a proliferation of political parties in Nigeria. I remember there was a time there were like 22 to 23 political parties.
Agreed.
And I think the way we can, one of the things, talking about what Mr. So said, I think one of the problems we have is that the National Election Commission need to find a way how we can reduce those numbers. And I have an idea how I think they can effectuate that.
Without infringing on the rules.
You're not infringing on anybody. And I think that will force people, it make it too easy for everybody to run for president today. And everybody should have the right to run. But if we want to strengthen political parties, we have to find a way to reduce the numbers. And I think one of the ways we can do it is that we have to increase the registration fee. To register a political party, I think it's like $10,000. Anybody can take $10,000, put it in a bank account. I saw people do it. Where they'll take the people who run the NEC, say, we got $10,000 balance, okay, register us. I think if we were to increase that number tenfold to $100,000, people will think twice about taking that $100,000 put in there, and you'll find political parties who are inactive. That's one idea. You can sue all you want. You have the right to assemble. You have the right to represent yourself, but you don't have the right to have a political party. That's my opinion. I'm sure on the next
we used to have another guy.
Mr. Azango, you remember the last time, right? And that's a very cardinal point you mentioned.
Yeah.
To the extent they put go take money from other people and say, okay, let's just put the money there. As soon as NEC verifies it, okay. The last time they asked some people.
I know that for a fact. I know. Remember when I was in Liberty Party, there were some parties that came to us, and we had to get in the money. They did that. I know that for a fact. So I think the idea is to increase that registration fee, and the minimum balance is $10,000 you have. Kick it up to $100,000 before John Brown decides.
And you should stay there until after the election. So
there you go. Your monthly balance should be $100,000. People think 2 or 3 times. That way you will still have political parties. But you won't have 24, 25, especially the parties in the last minute popping up because they want to go ahead and run for some candidacy or something like that.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much, Mr. Azango, Terry. Thank you, Mr. So.
Mr. Azango, are you related to Azango from
Steve
Zago? Steve Zago.
Steve Zago is my traditional cousin.
Because you got Azango.
We are not blood related, but you got Zago, then you got, so.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Good night.
But sooner or later, we'll soon call LPR, Lofa Public Radio.
The distance is too far.
It's not your traditional politics. It's not your traditional politics. Okay.
Swedju and Lofa. The
Yeah,
distance too
but
far.
that's what I said. That's what I
Is that how
said.
far?
That's what I said.
Local public radio. Is that how far you going now? You see him? Yeah, good night.
Well, I mean, you know.
At least you're near Sastan. You're near the Sion player.
We want come
The
to
Sion player.
Maryland. We want come to Maryland to the group. I beg you.
No, President, we are. You're near.
To
the distance-
Boyo.
The old man is so divisive. This is unbelievable. Yeah, good night.
Yeah, man, you're
Ah,
thinking
we don't
yourself.
want- you see the amount of vote there, man. That way.
Oh, you from the Boyo? You from Boyo land?
You're the man. I'm from Maryland.
I'm Maryland, man.
So when they finish, they turn to pastor.
You see, you want your sedition to come for me now. You see, this is the setup you can do.
I remember what 1979 GV20 in Sano, that Taino case. Oh
Oh,
my goodness!
oh, you're talking about Eddie Yancey.
Oh
What I
man,
gotta do?
that thing.
And you know, that should be a good topic to discuss next. You know,
We're not going back on that one. I want to
we can talk about it.
Now, governor used to know little Azuzu with red license plate.
Yeah. We should talk about it. Talk about it.
We put me in our trunk.
We
Mr.
can talk about
Azango,
we can talk about the reduction of political parties in Liberia. There are a lot of interesting things we can talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Your background alone is explain a lot. Your background alone is the whole show.
Who?
Yeah, you.
My background?
Yeah.
Your background.
That's
Wow,
the
that's it for that?
Mr. Zambo is a visionary. There are a lot
Yeah.
of things.
Your
because
back-
this is the whole
two backgrounds. There's first one and then one.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you have discovered that, Pastor.
Thank you, guys. It's time. We'll say good night to all of you.
Good
Let's
night,
meet
good
tomorrow.
night to my friends out there in TV land.
Thank you.
Hey, Esther, good evening. How you doing? Come forgive
Good night.
us.
Good night.
So give me a call.
So guy your number, and I give you number.
This guy refused. Can you? This guy refused to give your number.
I don't give you a
Man,
number.
why be so
Okay,
divisive?
let me give my number to you. My own number. Let me give my number.
That is the number I see on the
Good
screen.
night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.
You see
Hey,
what
Samson,
night.
don't be rude, man. What your problem?
But man, what that the show over? I want to play that. I'm Kumbaya show.
Well,
That
no,
Let me call my number. You can take it. I don't
Uh,
care. 401
uh,
440
uh,
which
6216.
one? Which number? That
no.
LPR number? That the phone we gave you?
They're not your business. Stay out of it. Bye.
people are here listening. Nobody might be calling them man number not for you.
I don't want you call it a number when they will mean away.
I'll call you tomorrow, man.
Okay.
All
Good
right.
night, folks. Okay. Again, folks, Samson to Labra Paredo. I want to thank all of the panelists here tonight, Mr. Zanko, Mr. Terry Collins, Mr. Soul. Thank you guys very much. And those of you that call in tonight, my Esther, thank you for your contribution, your continued support to Labra Paredo. All of you, Gifra, thank you guys very much. Joyce, as usual, thank you. Emmons, for calling in. Thank you very much. Let's continue to support what we want and what we like. This is Samson to Labra Paredo. I will say good night to all of you, but I will do different thing this time around. I will replay this here. This is the opening here. And this is what we talk about, your tradition. Let's watch this. Getting ready to go take a bath, and I'm just showing you. This is a bathroom that I'm going to be using. Okay. But this is how it's done here in Toll Town. But before I do that, let me first of all brush my teeth, and then we can. I'll just show you the shower place here, but I'll show you also how it's done. Okay? So that's why. That's why. Good. This, I mean, all you live here, everywhere. So no big deal. I can no longer afford to use the local water that I used to use here when I was growing up, because my system is not that much adaptable right now. But if I were to stay in a town for about maybe a month or so, I'll be doing everything. But now I have to use mineral water just so that I don't get sick. That's about it. Now watch this. This is now Samson toe. I'm getting ready to do as we used to do here. Watch this. See this? See? Woo. See? Take a bath. Taking bath. Taking bath. To be honest with you, the water is hot. So, and I'm not too sure why it's so cold here in Totem, but I don't want you to see my whole body. So this is about all that I'm going to show you. Okay.